Hey guys, it's Audra and welcome back to 365 Projects. I am here today with the mid-year freak out book tag. Now you are probably sick and tired of seeing them because they are all over the internet right now. And they actually started like back at the beginning of June, which I was like counting like how many months we had in the year. I'm like, it's not even halfway through yet. So I'm behind as usual. I wanted to make sure I had a full 6 months of books before I did the mid-year freak out tag. So hopefully you aren't sick of it and you want to see another one. If not, we'll see you in the next video. But let's just get through this really quick. The first question is, what is your favorite book of the year so far? And I think I'm going to go with Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. This is a beautiful story about three siblings who are basically half siblings, and they are all in the system in some way or another. You have two sisters that were adopted into different families, and you have a brother that was in the foster care system, and it's how they reconnect and whether or not they try to find their mother. The relationships between the characters as they get to know each other as teenagers, and just the plot itself and the conversations that it arises about the foster care system, about queer kids, and just humanity in general. It's a good one, and it's definitely a 5-star book for me, and so that's why it's my favorite so far. The second question is, what is your favorite sequel? And I think I'm going to go with Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. I do not read a lot of series books, so this is kind of hard for me, so I'm going to go with this one. This is a sequel to Scythe, which was one of my favorite books from last year. It's a great dystopian, basically about what would happen if we didn't have famine, disease, death, and there were scythes that gleaned you to kind of get the population under control and just like keep people humble, I guess. And so this is the second installment, so I can't tell you a whole bunch about it. I did enjoy it. However, there were some elements at the end that was like, okay, this just went a little too far. I think I only gave it a 4-star because of that. I don't know. But I am excited to see that there will be a next one, and it has been my favorite sequel so far this year. The third question is, what are some new releases you haven't read yet but you're really anticipating getting to? And I'm just going to go with my 3 newest books for middle grade, YA, and adult fiction. My middle grade book is Front Desk by Kelly Yang. This obviously super cute cover is about a girl whose family is Chinese immigrants, I believe, and they run a motel, and they actually hide immigrants at their motel. And so I think that's very timely. The next one is Anger is a Gift by Mark Oshirio. I don't know exactly a lot about the plot, where it's going to go. I know there's anxiety rep, queer teen rep, as well as police brutality going on in this story. I know it's a tough read, but emotional read, and I'm excited to get to that very soon. And then the newest adult book that I acquired is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This is the second book by him. I've read Final Girls this year, and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4-star. I'm hoping that the character stuff that really bothered me and like made me super annoyed is fleshed out, so the second novel is even better. This is about a girl who goes to camp, and she sees, I think, like 4 girls from her cabin leave in the middle of the night, and they're never to be seen again. And then later on in life, she goes back to the camp and she tries to solve like what happened. So hopefully this is a thriller that I enjoy better than the last one. Question number 4 is your most anticipated release for the next half of the year. And I'm going to go with the second book in A Princess in Theory, or the Reluctant Royal series by Alyssa Cole. This is just a cute romance, and I love the characters that we had in here. This is a grad assistant. She gets emails that an African prince is betrothed to her. She doesn't believe it, comes out to find it's true. It's steamy, it's cute, it's different from most other romances and like diversity, and just it feels real as can be, I guess, for the premise behind it. But the new one is coming out in the next few weeks, and I'm super excited. It's called A Duke by Default, and it's actually about the best friend of the main character in the first book. And so I'm hoping that the main characters from that first book appear in the sequel, but we will see. Question number 5 is your biggest disappointment, and it's going to be a couple books that I thought I would love just because of the time period of being World War II instead of the Holocaust. And that is Time Was by Ian McDonald. This was supposed to be like male romance set in World War II with time traveling. It was just a flop at 2.5 stars. And the other one I have not yet finished is Librarian of Auschwitz. Everything about this I should love. It's about a girl who was responsible for like 6 books in Auschwitz to keep them a secret. So she's like a librarian, and I'm halfway through. I think I started this like last September. It's just a very slow paced book, and it's been a disappointment. Question number 6 is the biggest surprise in the first 6 months, and I'm going to go with the fact that it seems like every once in a while there's just a book that sprinkles in a little bit of cancer as a plot device, or I don't know, make it more relatable, I guess. And as a survivor, it's triggering. And so those books were Young Jane Young, A Beauty That Remains, The Wedding Date, The Kiss Quotient, and I'm sure there were a handful more. But it's been a surprise on how easy it is to insert cancer and brush over it like it's no big deal when the character is dying. Moving on. Number 7 is a favorite new author. Now this one is hard because I have not read more than one book by a new to me author yet this year. However, I think it will be Christina Lauren by the end of the year. I just finished Autobiography and I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars through and through, and then I also have 2 books of hers that I need to get to soon that I've heard that are like 5-star books that I'm hoping I give the same, and that is Christina Lauren's Roomies. This is a romance about a girl who marries this guy that's in Broadway or something so he can have his visa, and they like live together as roomies essentially, and I'm assuming it's like a steamy romance. And then you have Love and Other Words, and this is about a girl whose first love was like all revolving around books, and she like flashes back to that as she's marrying somebody else. So I think these are going to be winners for me. Question number 8 is your newest fictional crush. Now, I normally never have one, but the guy in The Kiss Quotient is pretty dreamy. His name is Michael, and he is half Korean American, I believe. He is tall, he is hunky, he is buff and has this giant tattoo like going down his body, and like you can see it out of his sleeve, and yes. Let's just move on. Number 9 is your new favorite character, and I actually have 2. The first one is the mom from Young Jane Young. The first section of this book is told in her point of view, and she is hysterical. I absolutely love her. The second one is the main character from Class Mom, and this woman is snarky and absolutely hilarious. Like, I feel like this would be the kind of mom I would be if I had a child in school and had to be like the class mom, which I wouldn't since I'm a teacher myself, but she takes nothing seriously and is so super snarky, and I loved it. Number 10 is the book that made you cry the most, and for me that's going to be Miss Bigsby's Last Day by John David Anderson. Whew, this book. It is about a teacher that has cancer, and she leaves school, and there's 3 kids and all about their relationship. At the end, you can kind of predict the ending. I didn't cry because of that. I cried because of their relationships. I sobbed. It was like 12:30. It was on spring break, so I had to like cry quietly not to wake anybody else up. I just sobbed. I don't think I've cried about any other book, honestly, this year yet, so I need to change that. But this one is a tearjerker. The 11th question is a book that has made you happy, and I'm going with The Last Ride to Graceland by Kim Wright. I just love the journey of this book and how it was told, and each chapter is kind of like a road trip to Graceland for this main character, and then it also bounces back in time and it shares her mom's part of the story in that same location. So I just love the journey of it. It made me super happy, and I didn't want it to end, and it's a beautiful cover as well. And then another book that made me very happy from start to finish was The Sun Is Also a Star. Super cute romance. It takes place in the course of one day for these teenagers before one is deported, and I just fell in love with the characters. And the epilogue, it just filled my heart with those warm, fuzzy feelings. So definitely get this one if you have not yet read it. Number 12 is the best film adaptation you have seen of a book, and honestly, I haven't seen any yet. Yeah, I need to get on that. There's a couple coming out this year that I want to see, and I need to read first. That I think it's like the Potato Society, the Gurney's Potato. I don't know. It's a World War II book. Surprise. But hopefully by the end of the year, I will have something for that one. The 13th question is your favorite review or video that you've done for the first 6 months of the year. And for me, it's actually not a book video. I'm going to probably go with my chemo story. This one was a long time coming. It's kind of giving me chills to think about. But I started filming this back in September. I thought I lost the footage. I found the footage. I finally edited it and put it out there at the end of May. It is probably the hardest video I've ever filmed. I filmed 40 some minutes, and a lot of it was crying, and I shaved it down to less than 20, and it's just the story of chemo. And so I have a whole bunch of breast cancer videos on my channel. If you have not seen those yet, you can check them out. I'll leave them down below, I guess. Question number 14 is the most beautiful book you have bought, and I'm going to go with This Adventure Ends. I got this one by recommendation from Julie at Pages and Pens, and I haven't read it yet, but I love the painting swirls. Just the colors are beautiful, but the most amazing thing is the naked cover. Look at this. It is gorgeous. The silver is amazing. So I need to read this one as well before the end of the year. Number 15 is a loaded question, and I'm not going to really give an answer for it. And it is books you need to read by the end of the year. All of them. My TBR shelf is full. I need to get them read so I can get new ones. I need to read all the books, I guess. That's my answer. All the books. So there you have it. Those are all my answers for the mid-year freakout tag. I cannot believe it's already July. I'm going to be headed back to school soon. I'm excited to get into a new library, get things set up. But I also know that means I'm going to be reading less books as I start a new position and get things going. Anyways, let me know what you have read in the first 6 months of the year that you really loved and you think I might enjoy too. I would love to talk to you in the comments down below. So until next time, bye guys.